Welcome back, crafters. This is part 2 of talking about how you can layer different kinds of vinyl on top of DTF for a really cool textured look. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you probably missed the last video, so go check it out now, because in the video before this one, we talked about how to generate DTF-friendly images using Illustrator AI and edit them in Craft Designer. And we also talked about creating your SVG text layer in Craft Designer to use for this project. So we've ordered our DTF, it did come in the mail, and now we're gonna unbox it, and then we are going to cut out our text layer on Cricut and put this whole thing together and make a super cool shirt layering StripFlock vinyl and glitter vinyl on top of DTF. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is unbox our DTF. She came in the mail super fast from dtfprinter.com. There are several designs on here, so if you're looking at this and you're like, I don't think that's what we designed, that's because I'm actually making 2 videos. I'm making one here for the Design Bundles channel where we're gonna layer StripFlock on top of our DTF print. Then I'm also making a second video on my personal channel at It's Laura Lambert. So if you wanna see that one as well, I'm gonna try layering puff vinyl on top of DTF. So we're really gonna try out all the different options. It's gonna be super fun, but let me show you what your prints are gonna look like when they come in the mail. Super cute. Okay, so I did order the full adult shirt size for all of these. You can see there's several prints here. So we're using that cowboy themed one today for our StripFlock and glitter vinyl, and I think it's gonna look so cute. Don't forget that we generated that image in Illustrator AI as well, which is absolutely wild. So we're gonna use this Western themed one today. Let's go ahead and get it cut out, and then let's go cut our text layer on our Cricut. Okay, so here's our text layer that we designed last time. We downloaded it as an SVG from Craft Designer, if you remember. And here it is as 2 layers. So it came in perfectly, just how we designed it. I could hide this top layer and you can see our little background layer. That's what we're gonna do in some sort of glitter vinyl or maybe like a holographic vinyl. And then our top layer here is our white layer, and that's gonna be our StripFlock. So let me show you kind of what we're using today, and then let's get these cut. So for the backing layer, I'm kind of torn because I have a couple options and I like all of them, to be honest. I have this Mystic Pearl holographic that I think could be really cool, but I've never used it, so I don't know how it cuts, but I kind of think we should just try it and see, because I also have this glitter vinyl, but I've used it a lot, and honestly, I'm just not as excited about it as I want to be. So we're gonna try Mystic Pearl and see how she looks. I also think it'll look really good on like our Western theme for some reason. So we're gonna try that. And if you are interested in this vinyl, this is Caesar holographic in the color Mystic Pearl. And then we're also using a Caesar product for our StripFlock vinyl today, which, if you're unfamiliar with StripFlock, it basically creates like almost like a felted look. It's like velvety, felty once you press it. So this is this giant, I have it secured with 3 little slap bracelets because she's thick. But this is our big roll of StripFlock that we're gonna be using today. It also has hot glue stuck to it. We're gonna just pull one of these out. I think I combined these rolls because I had several. We're just gonna pull this one out here. So we need to cut these 2 layers of vinyl, and then we are going to be pressing them on top of our DTF. Okay, so we've got these. Let's make sure on the computer our design is appropriately sized. Okay, so it's 9 inches wide by 3.3 inches tall. Let me just measure that DTF again really quick and make sure that's the right size. That's gonna be perfect. Okay, we have some color options for our shirt. I didn't realize I had all these. So we have this color, this like kind of sage, pale sage color that I think could be really cute for this. Then I also have this one, which I kind of think this is the move. I think that's gonna look really good. It looks good with the background. I also have this tank top though, in like a charcoal gray. Ooh, maybe that's the move. I think we're gonna use this tank top. It just feels right. let's go to our cut settings now. So I'm gonna hit make it. I don't really wanna save this project. I do wanna cut it on a mat, and do we mirror StripFlock? Yes to mirroring the StripFlock layer. And then let's check out this holographic. Yes to mirroring the holographic layer. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit continue. My Cricut is plugged in, and I need to get a cutting mat for this also. I'm gonna quickly cut these down to size also because we don't need this much. This is a lot. So let's just cut a strip, because I am definitely gonna end up using this holographic for something else. This holographic has been one of those products that I've just held onto and held onto and held onto, thinking, oh, I want to save it and use it for something really cool, which is just code for I'm never going to use this. So I'm glad that I'm finally using it. So we need to figure out a good cut setting for this. It's going to be different cut settings on both because the StripFlock is so thick and the holographic vinyl feels just more like a regular vinyl. So I feel like I'll probably end up using just everyday iron-on setting for that. And then for the StripFlock, we will use the flocked vinyl setting. So let's go to, oh, I have it saved right here, flocked iron-on, and then we're gonna use more pressure because it's thick. Okay, let's cut our first layer. Okay. Let's lay down our flocked iron-on here. So I'm gonna do it shiny side down, just like you normally would with HTV. That's one of the great things about StripFlock is it really is just like a regular old HTV, but just super thick. All right, and now let's put it into our Cricut. Look how thick it is. That's crazy. That was fast. It's already done. So we're just gonna peel our vinyl away from our mat there. Looks like it cut really well. We're gonna weed that in a second, but first let's get our next layer going. Over here on the computer, I'm gonna select everyday iron-on and regular pressure for this layer. Okay, now we rinse repeat. I'm gonna try to make sure I get the part that's not the sticker, so I'm gonna flip that around there. We're gonna do the dull side up, shiny side down, and load it in. Okay, just took these off, so let's go ahead and weed them. I am gonna waste a little bit of vinyl here when I weed, so if that is something that you hate, maybe fast forward ahead like a minute. Sorry to break it to you. I know myself, and I'm not gonna save this tiny strip. Like, I won't ever use it. It'll just sit in the drawer. Okay, so if you can tell from the weeding, it's very thick. Let me try to hold it up so you can see. I don't know if you can tell. Look at that. I mean, that is thick. So StripFlock is very thick, but I actually love working with it. I like the way it adheres. I think it looks really cool. It's very fun. So now we're going to weed our holographic here. Luckily, this is a very simple, oh, did I cut this wrong? Oh no, whenever it's not weeding, it makes me wonder, what did I do? Oh, that doesn't look right, y'all. Something's not right. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Something is not right. So let me do a little research. I'll be right back. So you live and you learn. I should have read the instructions first. I did not. So what I have learned via Google is that if it looks like this, when you are weeding it, it means the layers are separating from each other and you didn't get a deep enough cut. So I researched it a little bit more and it looks like people are cutting on the glitter vinyl setting more pressure. So we're gonna try that. We're gonna recut this layer here. Glitter iron-on, more pressure. That's what we're gonna do. So let me get a new piece. I'm gonna cut it really fast and then I'll be back and we'll try weeding it again. Okay, that is recutting now, so we're gonna hope that that's correct, but while it's doing that, let's go ahead and set our heat press and talk about how we do that when we're when we're pressing multiple different materials at different heat settings. So the first thing we're gonna do is set our heat press for DTF, which is going to be 320 degrees for 15 seconds, so it's heating up to that now. We're gonna do that first because we have to press our DTF first, but then what we're actually gonna do is cool it off just a little bit to do our holographic vinyl and our StripFlock vinyl. So just a little word about StripFlock vinyl and holographic vinyl. StripFlock vinyl, you are supposed to press at 311 degrees for 15 seconds. And holographic vinyl, you're supposed to press at 320 degrees for 15 seconds. It's nice that they're both at 15 seconds. The ideal heat settings are a little off from each other, but when they're that close like that, we're just gonna be okay with it. So we're gonna go with 320 degrees for all three of these materials. But if you wanna see how we would do this if we had significantly different heat settings like we do for puff vinyl, then make sure you hop over to my personal channel because I'll show you how to do that over there. But actually we're quite lucky that we don't have to do that on this one. I thought we were going to have to, but when I relooked at the settings and I saw it was only 9 degrees different, I said, I think we can risk it. Okay, try number 2 of weeding this. So I'm not even gonna pull it off the mat yet because there's a chance that we may have to try this again and just cut it further down. I'm just gonna do a little test in the corner here and see if it worked this time. It should do clean. Oh, yes, okay, it looks great. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel this off. Sorry, loud noise. And don't worry, the vinyl wasting police does not have to come for me today because I am gonna trim this one because I will definitely use this bottom piece again later. I just wanted to test it first to make sure we had a good cut this time. So it does look like the appropriate settings for this holographic are glitter vinyl, more pressure. And then you can see we're getting like much less lifting of that like holographic portion. And the parts that are kind of wanting to stay behind are really easy to like come in and snag. And I'm just making sure I'm keeping that like really flat angle because that seems to be preventing that pulling from happening where my bottom layer isn't like coming with it. So that is nice. That is wonderful. Looks like we just have one little spot here I want to grab. It's kind of weird feeling. I'll be really interested to see what this looks like when it's pressed. I think it's going to be cool. It's almost like it tears because it's so thin. That one layer is thin. I don't have a long enough nail to get this last little piece. There we go. Okay, do we have any middle sections we need to get out? Yeah, there's one right here. Whoop! Okay, that just popped right out of there. All right, so now we have our backing layer. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, let's go pre-press our tank top and then we'll be ready to press our DTF and then we should be ready to just go ahead and press our other layers. So we have our full sheet of DTF here. We're just gonna cut away the one that we want to use. And then we can just roll this back up for use later. And then here is our sheet all cut out. So let's pre-press our shirt and then we're ready to start pressing our layers. Just in time. Okay. And then I'm just going to slide it in there and do a little pre-press. If you're not accustomed to pre-pressing, let me be the first to tell you, it is totally necessary. Not only does it get wrinkles out, but it also removes excess moisture from your shirt or your blank, which makes the longevity of your prints much greater. All right, now we're just going to take our pre-pressed shirt here, place our DTF print where we want it to go, right on top. You actually don't have to cover these with a parchment paper or anything. You can just press it directly on, which is super nice. Okay, we're now pressing our DTF. So 320 degrees for 15 seconds. Okay, now we do need to let this completely cool before we can peel it. So we're gonna take a little break, let it completely cool off, and then we'll come back and peel this away. It's time for the most satisfying part, and that is peeling the DTF. So let's do it. I'm gonna pray right now that I didn't just say that and then need to press it again or something. Because you know, that'd be happening. But actually, She's a beaut. That was amazing. Love, love, double love, love entirely. Okay, so now we're gonna place our holographic layer. What? Shut up. You guys don't even know. This is about to be so great. Okay, let's place our holographic layer and press that. I'm so excited right now. This is about to be so cute. People are gonna be like, oh my gosh, where'd you buy that shirt? And I'm gonna be like, I made it. I made it with AI and my own 2 hands. Amazing. I do believe holographic is hot peel, so we're gonna peel this pretty quick here when it comes out. Alrighty, she's looking sharp. She's looking sharp. Okay, don't mess her up. Oh, wasn't ready. Wasn't ready. Okay, maybe this is cool peel. I may have spoken too soon. Let's give it a second. Okay, it was indeed a warm peel. So I just gave it another second and then pulled it off. And now look at it, it looks so good. So now we line up the StripFlock. So I'm just lining it up on top. And the thing about StripFlock that is gonna be kind of annoying, I'll go ahead and let you know, is it doesn't really have a sticky applicator. So like, see how it just immediately pops up there? So what we're gonna do is we're actually going to give it a little heat tape, just like right here at the top. And then we are gonna put a piece of parchment paper over top of it just for this final press. I would not say it is required. I'm just being extra safe here. So I'm gonna take this piece of heat tape. I'm gonna put a piece up here in the corner. And I'm gonna put a piece over here also in the corner, just so it stays where it's supposed to stay. And then I'm gonna grab my little sheet of parchment paper out of here. And I'm just going to place it over the top. So now we're ready to press our final layer. Even though I taped it down, I'm still sitting here scared that it's gonna move somehow. So we're gonna hope that doesn't happen. Okay, StripFlock is indeed a warm peel, hot peel, whatever. I'm 100% sure. I don't, however, remember how it works when you are doing it with over top of holographic, because I've never done it. So let's see how it goes. I'm just gonna give it just a second to solidify, you know, to germinate, if you will. So we'll be right back. Alrighty, let's peel it. Oh my goodness. She's a stunner. Oh my. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie to you. Why is that StripFlock so smooth? I've never seen it smooth like that. Is it StripFlock or is it brick? I might have lied. So fun fact, that wasn't StripFlock. That was Caesar brick. So I lied. Let's change the title of the whole video. This wasn't StripFlock layered over DTF. This was brick labeled over DTF. Turns out this whole time I have had my Caesar brick vinyl wrapped up in the same tube as my Caesar StripFlock vinyl. And fun fact, they feel exactly the same. And they were the same color. So I had no way of knowing. But this is just as cool. And actually, if you're unfamiliar with brick, let me tell you how it is real quick. I'll show you, I'll give you a close up and I'll explain it. So brick is kind of like StripFlock in that it's super thick, but instead of having that felt appearance on top or like that velvety appearance, it's super smooth. So it's actually just like raised off of your design, but smooth, which is really cool actually. Okay, so we layered vinyl on top of DTF for a really cool, like, what's the word? Textured look. And I think it turned out super great. Once again, if you didn't watch the first video in this series, I highly recommend going and checking it out because that's where we made the file and I showed you how you could make multi-layered DTF files like this one. And we ordered our DTF from dtfprinter.com and then we used Illustrate AI and Craft Designer to make the file. And we made our SVG layer in Craft Designer and cut it on our Cricut Maker 3. So after all that work, I think this deserves a big reveal. Okay, first of all, ignore my shorts. They go with the top that I was wearing, but look at it. Here she is, our final product. I'm obsessed with this. I think it's so cute. I think layering vinyl on top of DTF is about to become my newest crafting hyperfixation. So if you loved this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you will see us back here next week with a new crafty project. If you have questions about DTF, about layering DTF, or about really anything crafty related, let us know in the comments below. But until next time, crafty friends, happy crafting, and we will see you back here next week.